This object here is a woman's waistcoat. It dates to about 1610, 1620. It is made out of linen embroidered with silk threads for the flowers, and this curling design is in a silver gilt thread. These waistcoats were probably embroidered by professional workshops. A jacket like this probably would have taken several months to make, with different pairs of hands working on it. Early 17th century costume only survives in a few pieces. We have got lots of nightcaps and coifs, but there are relatively a few jackets. This one is a rare survivor. We are in the process of making a very simple reproduction of the waistcoat to show how this would have been worn and to find out how restrictive it might have been.
I'm doing a stitch called detached buttonhole stitch, which is probably the most used on the jacket. It's actually detached from the surface of the fabric. It's only attached at either end of the pattern shape. If you look on the back of it, you'll see that there's no silk on the back except around the edges. All the valuable material is on the surface. The more difficult one is the metal stitch, which is known as plaited braid, and that's quite a complex stitch. Basically, this style of embroidery is domestic embroidery of the 16th century, as much as professional embroidery. It's really quite difficult to tell which pieces were done by aristocratic ladies and which pieces might have been done in workshops. Certainly they would have had patterns. We know that there are very similar jackets and similar patterns, not only to the one in the Burrell collection, but throughout the world. By doing the actual stitching, you are able to contribute to the knowledge of the jacket. Can this be done any better? Can it be done in a slightly different way? We stitch today with the thread and the needle coming towards us. From my research, because of the way some of the stitches were done, I think they did the stitches away from themselves.
For our linen toile, we have gone back to the Janet Arnold pattern, so we have scaled it up to the size of the waistcoat and then transferred that pattern onto just plain linen. This we can use to help make further fittings for the mannequin on display, but also for us to put on a model to see how it might have felt and to see how it could have been worn with the skirt panel. This is an incredibly rare petticoat panel dating from the early 17th century. In its current state, it is just a very large flat panel that at some stage in its history has been cut in two and then stitched back together again. Originally, it would have been worn as a skirt. The border that we see here would have been at the centre front, open to reveal a full part underneath, and then we're looking at it going around the skirt to the back and then to the centre front again. It is a fantastic crimson red silk satin. The majority of the embroidery here has been worked with a variety of flat stitches and with a little bit of raised work here, and this curling stem again. I think you probably would have been bred to do this. The children in the 17th century are wearing miniature versions of the adults, so you would have had to get used to getting dressed with assistants, wearing complicated garments from an early age in the 17th century. That doesn't look too bad, does it? With the skirt panel missing its top, we've lost the evidence to know how many pleats it was falling into and how big a ruffle might have been around here. And that makes it quite hard to tell how big the silhouette was.
The jacket's quite comfortable, but it feels strange trying to straighten your arms because of this, but
Yes, from here the arms are cut with a curve, so it's putting you into that ladylike position. And if you're used to wearing trousers, you tend to hang your arms down more. But if you think about it here, you have got something around your hips which might have been bigger, and therefore you're naturally going to put your arms more like this, and so the jacket is cut to accommodate the curve of your arm on top of the skirt. So this is our first experiment, trying to work out how the skirt may have been worn. We'll play around with this for a little bit longer, and then we'll probably make one that is starting to be pinned and then sewn into position and looking at the correct undergarments, so we can then come back and see how it would have worked as the full outfit.